So, behind my head, you'll see the Empire of State Building. I don't know why I just said that. Behind my head is the Empire State Building. That's right there. Oh, I see a head.
Hey, there you are.
Now I see a body. Yay.
Yeah, there you go. What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Not too much. Just got off work a little bit ago. What you been up to?
Nothing. Oh, it's so weird seeing the sun.
Oh, really? Yeah, how's the weather over there these days?
We had 80-degree temperature today, so...
Congrats. That sounds awesome.
Congrats. Yeah. It was celebratory worthy.
Yeah, dude, I'm still waiting for you to send us some of that snow over here. Like,
oh, man. I think there's still some left, but... No.
We're going to load up in a truck tonight, then we'll get it.
No, it finally melted a little while ago, but yeah, we had enough for about 4 years.
Oh God, man, yeah, no, I grew up in Oregon, and we did get snow like sporadically enough to just kind of keep it interesting. But for months like that, man, I couldn't. Just after a while, just go away.
yeah. I mean, it's fun. The child in you thinks it's fun for a little bit, but you know, once you like have to like deal with it, it's just like you can't go places because it's just it's fun for a little bit, maybe 2 or 3 days a year, but
That magic though, man, it doesn't last, right?
yeah, right. Yeah, if it's late at night and you got nowhere to be, then it's kind of fun. But if you need to travel in it, it's just a chore.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just getting to work every day has just got to be a bitch. Yeah, you have to like do tires, the chains and stuff, right?
Right. That you have to pray that the office isn't open. Just like it's just ridiculous.
Well, where do you work actually? I don't even know, man.
I actually work from home, so that scenario there, that's not me.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, then you're golden during all that. Then nice.
Right. Yeah, but I do have to shovel it, which is a major pain in the ass.
Okay, well, yeah, there's always something that
So that's a real scenario. So, what you watched Avengers Age of Ultron?
I had a very long day and I watched it.
You watched it after work?
Yeah, I got off work.
That's right. I saw your video.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the next, I went home and I put the video up. I went home, went to bed, and then the next day, Friday night, I went to go see Vertigo.
Really?
With a showing where like there was a symphony playing with the movie for the music and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, that was epic. But I was so tired all Friday, all Saturday because of all that.
That's awesome.
And no, it was a good day. It was a great movie day. And when did you see it, man? You got your video up like super early.
Yeah, I had access to an early copy.
Oh, okay.
And then I watched it again on Thursday. They AMC theaters, they did the original and the sequel.
Oh yeah.
And I just paid whatever ungodly amount it was to rewatch the first one, which I saw in the theater. I watched it in the theater again, and
of course. I almost had this thing out here where like you could watch all 10 previous Marvel movies.
Oh.
And then you would see the new one. Like,
right.
I'm this close to doing it. But then I had to eat hot dogs for an entire day. So.
Yeah, like as I'm watching it, I'm trying to think like what, if you had to tell somebody that was completely oblivious to the series, I mean, there's something like the Doctor from Thor. He's in that movie, so it's like, all right, so you have to go back and you have to watch Thor just to know who that guy is. I mean, other than knowing the characters themselves, like what's his name? Iron Patriot.
Oh yeah, Rhodes.
Yeah. You'd have to check out the Iron Man series to know him. It's incredible how much work they do with the other films to tie it in to this. I don't even know what you'd call it. It's a central hub, like
basically, because everything else is just building up to make. I mean, everything is doing their own thing, so they're trying to be good. But while they're trying to be good, they're also building up to make these movies, the Avenger movies, like as big and over the top as possible as they can.
Right.
What they can get away with, anyway.
Right. And they still managed to feed off of the storyline or the storylines in the singular films.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is cool. Like, I liked that Shield was like, still kind of. I don't watch Agents of Shield.
Neither do I.
Okay, good. So we're on the same page there. But, like, it was nice to see that it was still, not quite up to par yet after the events of Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Right.
Right. That was like a nice little thing, like seeing Sam Jackson like in just kind of like normal clothes with that like little hat on in the barn. Like, oh, that's kind of fun.
yeah. I think it's a little odd that Quicksilver was in there, though.
Yeah, I try to decide, like, well, I can't. I've been lazily looking it up online, so I could have tried harder. But like, which came first? Was Quicksilver going to be in this movie first, or was Quicksilver going to be in not Apocalypse, Days of Future Past first? So which one is the one that's the response to the other? Yeah,
I would assume Days of Future Past. I mean, logically, it takes place first, and he's younger looking.
Right.
So, I mean, spoiler, he dies.
Yeah, spoilers. We should probably say
that. So I just in the logically, X-Men takes place before this, but you do bring up a good point. Which one was decided first?
I almost want to say this one because he's more a bigger piece of the story, but at the same time, because like he just has like the one little scene and the best scene in the movie and Days of Future Past, but at the same time, like that would be such a rush job to get that in because that movie came out a year ago.
Right. So it's strange that like they didn't. I mean, I get it. It's Fox. It's technically a different company, but it's just a little odd that they wouldn't try to. Well, I mean, again, I guess I'm answering my own question. Why would Fox help Marvel do their own stuff on the side? It's just odd that they wouldn't like touch base and try to figure out what they want to do with the character. So it's a little more seamless.
Right. Yeah. No, he's got the accent too. It's not even American.
Right. So it's like, oh, okay. When he was younger, he was American, and then he moved, and now he's got this accent.
Well, that's how accents work. As you get older, they kind of develop. Well, actually, as much of a joke as that is sort of true. Depending on how much time you spend speaking language.
Sure. And a twin sister that just pops up out of nowhere.
Where was she?
Yeah, that he's just so close with all of a sudden.
And also, let's just talk about like how, if Magneto exists in this universe, how much would he have just been like, oh, this isn't a problem at all? Like all of
right. Well, wasn't the metal of vibranium or whatever, isn't that like unmagnetoable?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I'm not up on the comics. I'm just we
need Bob for that.
Yeah, we do need Bob for that because he's quite an encyclopedia.
Oh, and it was so funny too. Like he talked about in our last little thing how it's Captain America and Storm that are the ones that can pick up Mjolnir.
Yeah.
And then Vision's just like most casual thing ever. Oh, here you go.
He just tosses it to him like, yeah. That little joke about the weight was pretty funny too.
Yeah, you got
it. So what'd you think?
I liked it a lot. It's I like the first one, but it's just kind of a big fun fest. There really wasn't a lot behind it. Like as I go and watch it again, I kind of find myself like kind of picking and choosing where I'm paying attention. And I know that's a bad way to watch any movie, but there are movies that no matter how many times I watch them, I'm paying attention the entire time.
Sure.
Where I do, but with the first Avengers, I kind of cut in and out. But with this one, I think it'll hold my attention more with increased viewings because each character has more going on. There's not like a great sweeping message, but it is dealing with some subjects that are thought provoking.
Right.
Even if they're a little simplistic, the fact that they're there is still something, I think.
Right.
And I don't know, it's just fun, man. Like the fact that it just gets right into the action.
Yeah, right off the bat, we're going. You're in.
Yeah, right. That's something. The first one. It always felt weird to me that they spend 5 movies or something like that building up to Avengers, and then they spend the first hour of Avengers reintroducing everything.
Right, and they took their time with it too. It was, you know, for argument's sake, it was a little slow. I don't want to say slow, but it could have been, the action could have been a little bit sooner in the original.
I mean, just to say it, I do respect that they took their time. You know, it's
yeah. I'm not trying to say anything negative. It's just, it's like you said, you had 5 films. You know, you could both make some money and, you know, get these people to do some homework, but, you know, let that be the table setting, and, you know, just get moving with. I get, there wasn't really any sort of origin storytelling. It was just kind of, you know, getting to why we're all together, and
right, which you do need to do. But I feel like, I don't know, the movie is fine. It made $1.5 billion. You know, what are we really complaining about?
Right, exactly.
I do want that to be clear. I do like the movie. Like, the first time I saw it, like, I saw it with 3 really good friends. We all worked at a restaurant. I still work at that restaurant, and so does another one. We all got off work. We all went to the movie, and we just had a blast together.
Right.
And I wouldn't trade that for anything.
Sure.
It's just the repeat viewings that I start to have the issues, I guess. So whether or not a movie's able to hold up. Yeah.
The one thing that I really, really dug about the sequel was, you know, you actually got the seriousness of it. You know, you got, oh yeah, there's humanity, and we have to save people. You know, it wasn't about them saving the day. It was about them actually saving humans. They're like, they covered it too. That, you know, they had to save a town. They went and they were not just fighting, but also saving people. Like, I really, really dug that they took the time to do that.
Yeah, especially. Oh no, go ahead.
In the first one, you never really got, I don't think, like, any of that.
Well, there was a smidge. Like, Captain America saved a bank at one point.
Yeah, but didn't he just tell everybody to leave or something like that?
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. Like, get out of here. And, like, he's
yeah. It's like this building's going to collapse or something like that, and that was it. Here, they're escorting people. They're well, we already said the spoiler. They're dying for them.
Yeah, that was so, like, oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of rumors were going around that Hawkeye was going to die in this. So when that happened, I was like, oh, okay. They're going to, oh, no, it's not okay. It's something else.
Yeah.
Which I kind of dug. I really liked Quicksilver.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to choose between Days of Future Past Quicksilver or this Quicksilver, I'd probably go with Days of Future Past. But I like that this one, like, he was in the movie more, automatically awesome. And I like his relationship with his sister, and like how everything he did, you know, kind of revolved around that. That was a really good choice by, I don't know if that was Whedon or whoever made that choice, but
and you really felt it when she had her little moment when he died. Like, it was worth something. It was, you know, you got it. It wasn't just like a throwaway thing to happen in an action movie. You felt it. It was so odd. Like, people are picking this movie apart, and I don't understand what I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I liked it better than the first one, but I just feel like there's more to it. The first one is great, but it just feels like it's, you know, it's great, and it's this straight line of happy greatness. This one, there are ups and downs, which I guess if you want to see 15 superheroes together, you don't want to really deal with the sad, but there's got to be some sort of risk reward.
Yeah, levels are always good.
Right. It's like you're saying when you're shredding Twilight. There's got to be something to lose.
Right. If there's no risk, there's no point.
Right. Exactly.
And you know, I do get some of the complaints people are saying, like, you know, like Thor just kind of knowing that he has to activate Vision, like that was a little weird. And like there was another thing that kind of, I can't think of it right now. There were moments that, you know, Like, okay, that didn't work. That was a little rushed. They could have. I kind of like how they just like Ultron's born and he's instantly like, oh, I got to do this.
Yeah.
Time, maybe a few more minutes would have been nice. Even though I do like what they did.
Right. Apparently, Joss Whedon shot his original first cut was like 4 hours.
Yeah, I heard that. Like 3.5 or something.
Yeah.
Just like, which I kind of want to see, but at the same time, I kind of get why they cut it down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they go through everything, is that what happens then? Like, say they somehow release that 3.5 hour cut, and it ends up being the Godfather 2 of super collaboration superhero movies. Then what? Like, I just feel like people are just trying to find reasons to bitch because even like it's like you said before. The first one, incredible, but it has its flaws. It's no movie is perfect. I don't think there's a single movie that's perfect.
No, yeah, like what would even qualify as like a perfect movie? Like what's a perfect painting? Like how do you?
Yeah, everything's subjective. It's all art is subjective.
What's the perfect song?
Yeah. My Humps.
Yeah, I don't know. Where do you start with that? Like Beethoven's Fifth, maybe. Oh, no, that's the orchestra thing. Like,
well, it counts.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, man, this is kind of also what's really interesting to me is like this is the 11th Marvel movie now. That's a big franchise.
Yeah.
Just couple of years, like 5 years, 6 years, 7 years.
Yeah. Where are you starting? What's your number one?
Iron Man, probably. Iron Man.
All right, so that's 08.
Oh wait, yeah. So
7 years.
11 movies over 7 years. That's impressive.
And their slate looks pretty full for the future too.
Yeah, right. And getting interesting. I like that they're going to bring in Miss Marvel. It'll be nice to have another lady running around.
Right.
Is there a Black Panther movie yet? I can never remember.
I think they're talking about it. They're well past pre-production. Like I don't. Yes, I don't know.
Because I keep hearing things about it, but
right, ditto.
Okay, and that would be cool because I mean we got Rhodey or Rhodes or Iron Patriot or
right.
But it would be nice to have like and I guess we have. The Sokovian, is that what Scarlet Witch is? So there is someone other than American in there? Yeah. They could still diversify a little more.
Yeah, well, again, that's what Ant-Man is.
Oh.
Ant-Man really? Technically is Marvel.
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
Well, what do you mean by diversify?
Well, just like more like it's like the first one was like such a just like one girl and then a bunch of guys.
So you mean within the Avengers?
Yeah, exactly. In the Avengers. Yeah, it'd be nice just to get like a more colorful palette of characters, I guess.
Yeah. It appears as if like from the end of Age of Ultron that Scarlet Witch is a part of the group now.
Yeah. Which I'm not.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just when you look at what they have as if that last shot from Age of Ultron is what we have for the future, I'm not incredibly enthusiastic. I guess it's just me really digging Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Even Thor, like I'm trying to think what he was before he was Thor.
Who? Chris Hemsworth or the?
Yeah.
Well, he did Cabin in the Woods, which only got released. I mean, supposedly only got released because he was in Thor. Like they shot that in 2008, and the movie doesn't get released until 2010.
That's right. Yeah, he was some bit part on Perfect Getaway, which I made fun of in my video. But I buy that he's a star. I guess you still have Captain America, but like when it's oh my God, I'm drawing a blank with their names. What's his face from the second Captain America? his buddy.
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, him. And then you have Vision. And then Iron Patriot.
Yeah.
And then Scarlet Witch. It's like a big turnover, and I don't see, like, it's funny, and I keep wanting to say Robert Downey Jr., but before Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. was technically a gamble.
Yeah.
So like he's big because of Iron Man. So like it's hard for me to argue, because I'm basically arguing in my own head. Like I feel like there's no big star power for Avengers 3, whatever it would be.
Well, I guess we'll have to see what happens in Thor Ragnarok. But I have a feeling Thor is going to be coming back, and we know Downey Jr. is going to be in Civil War, so he's not done with these movies just yet. Captain America: Civil War. So
right.
Done with these movies just yet. I just don't think he wants to do any more standalones.
Yeah, one would hope that they would do something with Spider-Man, and that would be incredible if they somehow got Spider-Man into the third Avengers.
Yeah, what do you think of Asa Butterfield? Like, apparently he's the leading contender for the role of Peter Parker right now.
Really?
Yeah, I keep seeing that on Twitter. It could be, just a Twitter rumor.
So they're going to start over again then?
Yes, as far as I can tell. Not only is again, these are just rumors, but what I've heard so far, what I keep hearing, is that Sony's going to get their own thing rebooting it, while Marvel's going to start doing their own new thing. So I think we might end up getting 4 different versions of Spider-Man in 20 years.
Wow.
Right? I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man is awesome.
Right.
But that's a lot.
like we all know, like even if you're 15 years old, you were 10 when you were 12 when the first re-updated Spider-Man came out.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
Right. So we all have it. We know what happens. He gets bit. Let's go. Like what is there to start over with over and over and over again?
I had that discussion with a friend of mine recently, and he made the argument that because like the first Spider-Man, the first Sam Raimi one, and then Amazing Spider-Man both made so much money, from like a financial standpoint, it makes sense for a studio to want to do the origin story again. But what I think what's going to happen here is at some point someone's going to release a superhero movie for a character that hasn't had a superhero movie yet, and it's not going to really be their origin story. And I think people are going to dig the hell out of that movie.
Yeah.
And then everyone's going to look back and feel all silly. But I'm not really basing that on anything. So.
No, you're right, because like there's just so much. It would be such a unique. See, I'm trying to think of something. Kick-Ass. It was an origin story.
Actually, I just thought of one, and it makes my argument look weak. Daredevil.
Go ahead.
The first Daredevil movie.
Well, even that technically is an origin story. I mean, I'll take that. I'll flashback. If it's a thing where you're rolling and you're just doing some work just so people who are completely oblivious have some sort of idea. I'm down with that.
Okay, as long as it's not the whole movie.
Yeah, as long as we're not 40 minutes in and talking about how this guy came to be. It's a superhero movie.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, like, Man of Steel, like it spent 20 minutes retelling the same story, and it told it in an interesting way, so it wasn't too egregious.
That's another thing.
Well, was it good?
Go ahead.
Are they gonna do that with Batman?
Right.
Batman.
Right.
Like,
it was like you have 11 seasons of Smallville.
Something over the top.
We know. They could have even segued some sort of 5-minute thing from Smallville to Man of Steel, but it was different. What they did was different, so I'll give them credit for that. But I don't want to see. restarts. Just like even if it is different, like how many times can you start over?
Yeah, especially when it's someone, a character we know so well.
Right.
I wonder if they're going to do, like, I just thought of this now, like with, because in Batman v Superman, they're also going to have like Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and I've heard Cyborg and a few others in the movie. So are they going to have all those guys in this one? And then if they do the Wonder Woman movie, will it be her origin story after we've already met her? Or are they just going to like let the fact that we already know this character and then just have her go and do something?
You know what? I'll give you the flip to that coin. Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah.
I was just talking about this a couple of days ago. I don't know 90% of the characters. Like I know Joker, I know Harley Quinn. I don't know anybody else in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
How are they going to do that? Because this is the counter to Avengers, where you have no side films to work with. You're just going.
Yeah. And they just picture. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of guys in that movie.
And there's some big names there. You have Will Smith as one of them. Margot Robbie. I mean, you know, not giant names. Will Smith 10 years ago was a giant name, but you know, what are they going to do?
I mean, I know a little. Like, I know who Will Smith's character is, Deadshot, because I watched Arrow.
Yeah.
But that's it. So like I don't know who any of the other ones are. I just because I watched 2 seasons of Arrow, I know who this one character is.
Right.
It's gonna be a completely different character. Like he's like, I mean, not to keep bringing you back to race, but you know, he's a white guy in Arrow, so it's obviously a completely different character in this movie than in that show. So it's like, yeah, maybe they're gonna like have some guy just like reading like a pamphlet. Oh, this is Deadshot. He did blah 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 blah.
Here's his bio. Next.
Yeah. Or maybe when you buy your ticket, they're gonna hand you like a program that's like, here's all the information.
Yeah, like a play. Here's a playbill.
Oh, that'd be interesting. But instead of the actors, it's just like the characters. I'm not saying do that, but that would be, you know, that might be kind of fun. Like.
Asa Butterfield, really?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's okay.
He's 18. He's 18 now, and he looks like he's 12.
That's true.
He's young looking.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be an origin.
Oh, you got it right now. You got it.
I have his IMDb.
Oh, okay, for sure. Product placement.
I have a glare.
Yeah, that's all good. Oh, you're watching hockey too.
Yeah. Yep. Here, let me get everything in the shot here.
Wait. So is he the Marvel choice or is he the new Sony choice? Or does that even?
You told me. I don't know.
Oh, okay, for sure. Oh, I think these are just Twitter rumors again.
Oh, okay.
Whichever one it's going to be, I think he's okay. Like, you know, I wasn't crazy about Ender's Game at all, but I thought he was good. And
yeah.
I've never been able to sit through Hugo in one sitting, but I think he's good.
I love Scorsese to death, and that's the one movie where I'm like, oh, Marty, what are you doing?
Yeah, like I've tried so many times.
Yeah, exactly. I get it. It's good. I get why people would like it. I just can't be one of those people.
You know, not every movie is going to be for everyone. We like the rest of the stuff. This is the one Scorsese movie that's kind of, that's okay.
Yeah.
Also, I guess I wasn't super crazy about the Shutter Island either.
Oh, I love Shutter Island.
That movie though.
My other one is Kundun.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
He 1997, 8.
Kundun.
Kundun, Kundun.
Okay.
Scorsese directed it, and not a Scorsese movie as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's still got Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Wait, he was Goodfellas, right?
Oh yes.
Okay, good. I started questioning myself after I said that.
No, absolutely.
Okay, for sure. Oh, and The Departed. I mean, I know some people aren't crazy about that movie, but I really like that movie.
Oh my God. Yeah. No. I can't understand. If you don't like that, then you don't like Goodfellas. You don't like Casino. You don't like.
Oh, and Casino. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, it's similar. There's a bloodline there.
Yeah, there's definitely like it's the same.
Yeah.
Things going on. It's different, but they're tied.
Right. And the same thing with Wolf of Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street felt like some sort of cousin of Goodfellas.
Like the darker comedy version.
Yeah, I think I'm maybe just associating it strictly to the voiceover, but there's other ways about it. I think it's just Scorsese. When Scorsese's on, man, it's good. It's really good.
Yeah, dude, I've actually been wanting, and now that it's on Netflix, I've been wanting to watch Wolf of Wall Street again. That movie's just fucking crazy.
That's the only 3+ hour movie that I've ever watched and been like, really? That was 3 hours?
Yeah, right. It doesn't feel like it at all. It's so much fun.
Not at all. Not at all. That movie cruises.
Yeah. Like even I mean, I don't mind like Interstellar's runtime as much as some people do.
Yeah.
But I don't like the fact that it takes so. But after I watched it, I was like, that really took 3 hours.
Yeah, once we get into space, I'm all right. I feel like we could have gotten in space a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
I feel like we're on Earth a little too long.
Yeah, and even some of the stuff in space, I think we could have cut down. But whatever, that's a whole other thing.
Oh no! Like what? Like what would you cut in space?
Well, it's been a while since I've seen it, so I'm trying to remember specifically. Like. What was it?
So they go near Saturn and then they hook up with the black hole.
Yeah, I was just talking out my ass. Maybe there actually isn't anything.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm eager to hear. I'm intrigued. They go to that planet to look for one of the other doctors.
The water planet.
Right.
And actually, I do take the statement back because I wanted them to spend more time on that planet.
The water planet.
Because they spent all that time being like, so every hour we're here is 7 years back at Earth. And it didn't feel like they were actually down there that long.
Right.
But it ended up being like
21 years. Something like that when they got out there. He's like, I waited. I've been doing some work.
Yeah. Like it felt like they were there for like 45 minutes at like the most. And apparently they were there for like 3 hours.
Right.
But maybe that was just the way it shot. And like if I did see it again, this is the real reason I didn't. I've only seen the movie once.
Mm-hmm.
It's one I've been interested in seeing again because I didn't read the full script, but I skimmed a 2008 copy of the script.
Okay.
Like now that I've read that, I'm like I want to almost like it's totally different. By the way.
Really.
Like almost a completely. I mean, there's still space. Earth is dying, and they need to go and find a solution in space. But other than that, they're so different. It's like phenomenal. Like the water planet's not there at all.
Huh.
And at one point Matt Damon talked about how there was like plant life underneath the ice.
Uh-huh.
There actually was plant life, and they actually do go down there and interact with it and stuff. And it's like this crazy hyper evolving thing.
Really?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I bet.
Like I almost want to like just like find out like how they got from that to that. Like the whole Tesseract ending, not in there at all.
Huh.
Like Nolan and his brother when they got their hand. I mean, this could have just been like the first draft that I found.
Sure.
So things change dramatically. Like
was the bookcase thing in there?
Go ahead.
Was the bookcase thing in there?
No, none of that.
Yeah, see, like that. If I'm gonna pick something apart, it could just be me not understanding fully, but
it was a little cheesy.
Yeah, really.
Understanding or no understanding, that was a big pill to swallow.
Yeah, like come on, that exact moment, like really, in that exact spot.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, like, if something's too smart for me, I really have a hard time. Like, I just like it's like you said with the time thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't wrap my head around the science of it. If I'm wearing a watch
mm-hmm.
and I leave Earth and I go onto this water planet and my watch says 12 o'clock and and only an hour has passed, how is it that 7 years has passed? If I'm wearing that same watch from Earth that tells Earth time, Like, how is it that 7 years or, whatever, how is it that even a half an hour can be longer than, like, I have Earth time with me. How on Earth, how off Earth does that happen?
Maybe this is why we talk about movies and not maybe that's like Einstein.
Like that, like I just see stuff like that. Like I get stuck. I'm like, wait a minute. Like I'll be thinking about that for 20 minutes. Next thing you know, I'm losing all this dialogue. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, that can be a problem. I've had that before where like something, I'm trying to think of an example where something happened in a movie and I'm trying to understand it so much that I just other things.
Yeah, Inception, I had to watch that. I watched that twice in a row. I stayed for the second show because I was like, wait a minute.
Would you like sneak off to the bathroom for a second and just kind of come back?
Oh, I just stayed. I just stayed in the theater. I was like, you're not letting me leave. I'll pay for a ticket or whatever, but I'm not leaving. Like, oh, would you fall asleep? I'm like, yeah, that's it. I fell asleep.
Actually, one time, me and my friends were watching Inception, and we all kind of fell asleep periodically because we'd seen it a bunch of times. But the movie was like, I guess the DVD we were watching it on, like, just kind of loops.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we all just kind of fell asleep and woke up at like different parts of the movie. So,
and it was like the second part, the second session.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, I'd wake up and be like, wait, I've already seen this.
Oh, I'm Inception.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, and I mean that's the kind of thing. I mean, that's what I do like about Nolan's movies. Like they do want you to. They do demand that you want to watch them again.
Right.
That's pretty cool. That's kind of like a continuing thing in his stuff. Like even like, and I wasn't crazy about Interstellar, but I do want to watch it again. Inception, like I mean, you immediately went to watch it again. Like the first chance to watch it again, I watched it again.
Right.
The Magic movie, The Prestige.
Right.
Same thing. I watched The Dark Knight 3 times in theaters. Like,
yeah. I'm not a big fan of Memento, and I needed to watch it again.
Actually, I need to see Memento. I haven't seen it.
Ever?
Yeah, no.
Oh.
I've been chewed out before, but yeah, no, I need to.
I'm not gonna chew you out. I mean, there's everybody has at least one movie where it's like, oh, you haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
And I probably have about 20 of them.
Well, I mean, I still haven't seen The Godfather, so. Like,
wow. Yeah. See, the further back into black and white you go, the less I've seen.
Right. Yeah.
I just saw Casablanca for the first time like a month ago.
Oh, nice. What'd you think?
It was good.
Yeah.
See, it's hard because that movie's influenced so much.
So much.
And when you recognize it as it's happening, it's harder to swallow it as a first time.
Right.
Like, because a lot of things feel similar, or it's a good movie.
Yes.
It's just I probably don't appreciate it as much as I should have, because I'm just thinking of so many other things that is influenced or that reminds me of. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it, but not as much as I probably should have or wanted to.
Well, it is kind of a I mean, I guess it's aged okay. Like I saw it in high school, and I own it, and my mom got it for me for Christmas, and I liked it when I watched it. I've never really been in a hurry to watch it again.
Yeah.
But I mean, I acknowledge I probably should give it at least one more viewing. It's just not something I've ever been like actively like, oh, let's watch Casablanca again.
Right.
Or I just saw Vertigo, but I want to watch that movie again. Like I almost bought it, and I just saw it Friday. Like I want to watch this movie again.
Right. Hitchcock is there's that, like, I want to say it's like a 10-year span from like 55 to 65, or maybe a little bit earlier, 53 to 63. There's a 10-year span where he makes like 8 movies, and they're all just home runs. They're Vertigo, Psycho, Rear Window. Actually, you know what? I can cheat.
Have you ever seen the trailer for Psycho, by the way?
I don't know. Go ahead and tell me what it is.
Well, it's just such a different way of doing it. Instead of being like a traditional trailer, it's just Hitchcock just kind of wandering around the set and talking about it and like the things that happen in the movie in a very vague sense. It's one of the more interesting. I mean, like I don't think you could get away with it today, because I think a lot of people just the way trailers are today, I don't think it would be well received, but it's just such an interesting, different way to do it.
There was another thing that he did that he wouldn't let people in once the show started. Can you imagine that today?
Oh God, people would flip shit.
Yeah. He said he sent messages to the theater owners that they wouldn't be able to let anybody in once the show started. That's incredible.
Even more impressive that they followed through with it. But
right. And he sent like commercials or something saying that, you know, you must be here on time, or otherwise you won't be allowed in.
Oh, weird.
I mean, it's marketing genius, because people are like, oh, what's going on? Why do we have to be there?
That's true. That is actually a really good, because people are going to then want to watch every second of the movie.
Right. All right. So I'm a little bit wrong. I think it was 51 is Strangers on a Train.
Okay, yeah.
Dial M for Murder is 54, and Rear Window in 54. He did Dial M for Murder and Rear Window in 1954.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
1 year. You know, two movies 1 year.
Well, I mean, that happens these days, but like 2 really good movies in 1 year. Like,
The Man Who Knew Too Much, 56. Vertigo, 58. North by Northwest was the one I was trying to think of, 59. And Psycho, 60. And The Birds is 63. That's 12 years, but still that's incredible. And he was doing his show at that point too.
Oh yeah.
Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Yes. Yeah.
That's how? What? How does that guy? How does that happen?
Did he sleep?
I don't know. And it's not even that. Like, a lot of it is just. It's not even just quality. A lot of it's just legendary.
Yeah.
Like Nolan's really, really good, but you know, Dark Knight. I would say Inception.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those films that he's done, like like the Magic movie, wouldn't exactly be legendary. Some would argue that it's not that good.
Yeah, Dark Knight Rises for me really didn't work.
Yeah, I would say that too. I mean, people could say that for Batman Begins too. Wasn't quite. Dark Knight was just so good, but Dark Knight Rises was. It was a little. Yeah.
Like, I've got this poster right behind me, but that's because a friend of my dad's girlfriend worked on the movie, and it's just a dope poster, which I got for free. But,
yeah, I bought in so hard on Bane, and it was just.
Oh yeah.
And by the way, does Tom Hardy turn down a script?
I don't know, man. He is working his ass off.
He's all over the place.
Right.
Like, he literally. It seems like he's in every movie that's coming out every month.
Mm-hmm. He's like the new Sam Jackson or Christopher Walken.
Right.
What I wanted to do. Like, he'll be awesome because he's. I don't think I've seen him be bad in anything. Like,
oh, apparently, Child 44 is pretty bad.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh, he's okay.
I wanted to see that, but it got slaughtered, like absolutely slaughtered. Have you seen Ex Machina?
I have.
Tell me what do you think, and what?
So the first 80% of it is really good.
Okay.
Like, it's really good. Like all three, like it's a character piece. There's really only like 3 characters. There's a 4th one who never really talks, but it's really just 3 characters. The inventor. Or do you know anything about it? Like, how much do you know?
Vaguely, trailers, and that I should have seen it by now.
Okay. So there's the guy who made the robot. There's the robot, and then there's the guy he brings in to talk to the robot.
Okay.
And it's really their movie. And by the way, this movie has me so excited that Oscar Isaac is playing Apocalypse in X-Men. That's going to be. And like all of the performances are so good, and there's so much tension and everything. But then in like the kind of like final like 10-ish minutes or so, it didn't really fall apart. It just kind of. I don't even really know what to say. Like maybe like they just needed to build up the characters more, or maybe like because there was a very, very strict structure.
Okay.
Like, we're doing this, repeat.
Okay.
And not in a way that bugged me, but like until the end when I realized that's like, oh, and we're just kind of just gonna just wrap up now in a very, very traditional manner, which was a little disappointing because the rest of the movie was so untraditional.
Okay.
And like, I don't want to give away spoilers. And if you actually watch the newest trailer that came out, it actually gives away a huge spoiler, I think.
Okay.
But it's the end isn't as good as the rest of it. But it's definitely worth seeing. Like, definitely worth seeing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, we're going to see a movie like this for a while. Like, this is a very unique thing.
Okay.
If it doesn't all hold together, it is still very good.
Okay.
And I saw it with a group, and we all well, most of us kind of had the same reaction. We all really liked it. It's just like the end could have been stronger.
There's a bunch of movies like that, though.
Yeah, that's true. That is a very common complaint. It's very hard to stay consistently good.
Right.
Things are arguably the hardest part of a story.
Okay.
So yeah, and it's the guy that wrote things like Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind and a bunch of other really cool sci-fi movies.
Charlie Kaufman?
No, the writer. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different movie. He's wrote a bunch of movies that I liked.
Okay.
This is his first directing thing.
I could be wrong. I don't know if Charlie... I want to say Charlie Kaufman wrote Eternal Sunshine.
He directed it, didn't he?
No. French guy. Oh, no.
Here, I'll look it up real quick. Here, we got the internet here. Yeah. Eternal Sunshine. My internet's gonna work. There it goes.
Michel Gondry.
Was that who it was?
Michel Gondry. Double check, but I think that's who it is.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I could have just cheated too.
Oh, it was by Charlie Kaufman. You're right. Oh, okay. So I must be thinking of something else then. Right?
But Michel Gondry directed it, right?
Yeah. You got that. Good job.
I got my one.
I love that movie. I shouldn't even need to look it up. I should just know that off the top of my head.
Yeah, that movie's so it's so good.
It really
it's I wouldn't mind that being a date movie. Like, there's enough romance in there for that technically to be a date movie. And it's just so much more than that.
Yeah, it was a date movie for me once, but the third or fourth time I saw it or something like that. But the first time I saw it, actually my dad dragged me to it. This is a good movie. I'm making my son watch this, and I loved it. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really, really good movie.
Okay, so I don't know where I got. Oh, he wrote something called Sunshine. I don't know what that is, so I got that mixed up. But he wrote 28 Days Later, Dread.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I guess he's working on the Halo movie, but I mean, they've been talking about doing Halo for who knows how long. Oh, he wrote the novel version of The Beach.
The DiCaprio movie?
Yeah.
Huh. That is interesting.
So this guy's definitely done a lot of it. What's his name? Just on this page. Alex Garland.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Ex Machina was his directorial debut, and it's a very strong directorial debut.
Okay.
Just kind of a weaker ending, but like we said, that's an easy thing to have be your weak part. So go see Ex Machina. Everyone watch.
No, I will. I just wanted to hear somebody, a human being, who has seen it, because like it just came out by me, and
oh really? Okay.
The show times are just so hard to get into. There's two a day.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's just really strange. I don't know why because we usually get some really decent stuff.
Yeah,
it's on New York. It's
Are you actually in the city, or are you like on the outside?
I'm in Long Island, but I'll go to the city. Like, what do we have? We had American Sniper. We were one of two theaters that had it. Not we, but the city had it, and so I went and saw it like December something, and it wasn't out until like January.
That's so weird. Everywhere over here.
Right. It's so bizarre the way that. I mean, I guess it happens every now and again. It's just. I don't know. And Avengers isn't helping much.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. So okay, I think they were lying, but I work in a restaurant that's right next to an ArcLight, which is like I don't know if you have ArcLights out there. It's like a really big movie theater thing out here.
Okay.
And like my restaurant manager and the manager of the ArcLight, they communicate a lot based on of like movies and things like that, so we can try and streamline things better. And they claimed they had 12,000 reservations for Ultron the opening day.
Wow.
But it didn't seem like that because like I saw Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1 and 2 at that same theater.
Mm-hmm.
There were significantly more people at those just all night. The mall was just swarming with people, and our restaurant was just over the top insane. And it was busy this weekend, especially, but on opening night, I mean, like, it was okay. I was there for a couple hours, made my money, and I was out, and I went to go see the movie, but like, it wasn't exactly what I thought.
How many theaters are in the building? How many screens?
It's pretty big. At least I'd say somewhere between 10 and 14.
Do you know how many shows there were?
That I don't know off the top of my head. But like, they're pretty big. Some of the theaters in there are pretty big. Like, they can hold 100 people.
They could have had like 6 screens showing Avengers.
Probably did, honestly. At least
something like that will make it seem like a lot less a deal because it's spread out.
That's true.
When I used to manage a movie theater. What we would do is we would spread it out. The last time I remember this being a big deal, oddly enough, Star Wars Episode 3.
Really?
Yeah, we actually had that on 6 screens.
That's impressive.
So it didn't seem like it was that full. But as far as that show is concerned, Star Wars, we had to shift things around.
Did you end up like opening up to more, or did it like just stay on 6?
Yeah. No, we only had 2 prints, but we ended up opening 6 screens for it. So we were doing triple work per print.
Wait, how does that work?
Back then it was film. You have it like a giant. I don't know what the word is, but like the film would run from. The way our theater was set up was it was a giant hallway.
Okay.
And there's a window to the right and window to the left. Window to the right is theater 1. Window to the left is theater 5.
Okay.
And theater 2, theater 6, theater 3, theater 7.
Okay.
So what you do is you take the film from theater 1 and run it all the way across the room to the projector on theater 5.
Oh shit! Okay.
And then from theater 5, you run it all the way down to theater 2. And then you do the same thing with the next 3. So we would do that. This is pre-digital, mind you. So it's got to be way easier now.
Hopefully.
Yeah, but with film, you could not go up there. If you went up there and you knocked into something, or God forbid tripped over the film, it was bad. Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
It was exciting.
Like that recent, because I always kind of wanted to be a projectionist. Like, I always thought that'd be kind of fun, but I guess like that's just not a job that's really been like available in my life.
Yeah, that's an extinction. It's like a hand drawn animator at Disney. They just don't exist anymore.
Well, I mean,
but,
for like the Princess and the Frog, but like,
yeah, but projectionists just. It's just I mean, I guess it is in some like art houses and whatever, but
right, yeah, smaller theaters, yeah, that makes sense.
It's just not a thing anymore.
Which is sad, but I mean, like, I guess it makes sense. I guess you don't really need a guy up there, making sure the films.
Yeah. Now just go hit play.
Yeah. Give me my $8 an hour. I hit play.
I switched to hard drives. You're ready.
Oh yeah, it's probably just on jump drives these days. You just put in, and hell, you can probably just have like a button at concessions. Oh, it's $12.15.
Yeah, yep. But yeah, projectionists. When we worked with them, it was kind of the same thing. All they had to do was line up the film into the projector, hit a button, and then just make sure that it started all right, and you have nothing to do for half an hour.
Oh, then you have to change it, right?
Yeah. The machines pretty much did everything.
That's crazy.
So you just had to line it up and just hit a button and make sure everything's in focus, light bulbs on.
Was it like a big theater you were working at, or a smaller?
Yeah, it was we had 10 screens.
Oh shit! Okay.
What's that?
No, I mean, that just sounds. Like I said, I always kind of wanted to get work. I mean, it just sounds like fun to work with movies all day if I can't actually be in them.
It was, and I was lucky enough to work in marketing.
Oh, okay.
So I would, if there was stuff from a company, I was the guy ordering it. Like, I'll never forget me, myself, and Irene. They had these funky cups that had a split, so you could put 2 separate drinks in the cup.
Okay.
And you could it had 2 straws, and it was this really funky thing, and they sent us a bunch, and it was just like, you know, I would get first crack at all this stuff, and of course I kept a lot of it, and then we gave some of it out. But you know, the T-shirts and posters and shit I had.
Posters.
Christmas was so easy for me.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, like, I had so much cool shit, and I was just being handed it. It's the only thing that I desperately, that and seeing stuff early is the only thing that I really, really, really miss.
Especially nowadays, it'd be nice to see everything early, right?
Oh yeah, especially with the channel. Are you kidding? I would make it a mission. I would, once we get the print or whatever, however they do it now. Mm-hmm. But I remember we had the Return of the King. We got it like on Monday, and it was coming out on Friday.
Did you guys all get together and watch it?
Monday night, it was on.
Oh man, that sounds fun.
Yeah, and sometimes if it were big enough, and usually Warner Brothers wanted to make sure that the print was all right, so we would literally have to pay somebody to make sure that the print was okay.
Okay.
That was me every time.
I'm jealous, man.
I'm jealous too. It was a fun job.
Jealous of your younger self.
Yeah, I'm jealous of past me.
Yeah, no, I mean, like whenever there's a big movie that I need to see, I get off work and I go see it because the theater's right there.
Yeah.
But even then, it's like if like 2 movies come out in a week that I want to see, you know, I can't see both. I mean, I guess I could see both that night, but I usually don't.
Right. Yeah, no. Working at a theater, there's shit about it. There's the fringe benefits are certainly, if you're a movie fan, they're pretty high.
But how many like customers wanted their money back is my question.
Yeah, I mean, it happened, but you know, whatever. It wasn't really our money. If the movie was new enough, it was. If a movie comes out like the first week, the theater only keeps like 10% of the ticket price.
Really?
Yeah. The longer a movie is out, the less the film company makes. Like, say a movie's been out for a month, the theater's probably making about 75% of the ticket price.
Okay.
That's why you have these places like, do you have a place by you that like runs shit that's like almost like 4 or 5 months old, but it's really cheap ticket prices?
Yeah, I got a $3 theater to the Academy. I love that.
Okay. Yeah, they are making like 95% of that ticket price. That's how they're able to do that.
Okay. I guess that makes sense, you know, because everyone's always pushing like opening weekend, like second weekend, things like that. And once,
yeah.
I know. Okay, that's cool. I've been researching box office stuff lately.
Okay.
So that's a cool tidbit. Thanks for that one.
You're welcome. Anything else?
Okay, so I don't want to give it away too much because I want it to be a kind of a surprise for the episode. But I've read about a movie that grossed just shy of $1 billion.
Okay.
A big franchise movie.
Okay.
And there were sequels to it too. But the studio that made it technically lost $167 million.
Okay.
Even though the movie made almost $1 billion. Because like they just signed contracts and they owed so much money to so many people because of this movie that even though it was massively successful, the studio didn't make shit.
Right.
It went on to make 4 sequels. Yeah. It's that. No, what's up?
That doesn't make any sense.
I know. No, I mean, but I've got a thing. It's mine. No, I was right there with you, but I started reading.
You're calling bullshit? Like what?
No. It's just that the fact that it happens, like that, the way that money gets distributed these days, and the way that people look at the box office, and just the way it's just fascinating to me that a movie can make that much money, but the studio loses that much money. Like,
they pull things out of their ass. Like we spent this much on marketing.
Marketing budgets. Holy shit! Like
a good movie to look into as far as just what the fuck is John Carter.
Oh yeah.
John Carter, if you look at just take everything about that movie, everything they did with it. Mm-hmm. They marketed that movie so horribly, and they did it so much that like nobody caught it. They made so many mistakes with their marketing and never caught themselves along the way. They could have stopped and fixed, because the movie, I don't know how you feel about the movie if you've even seen the movie.
I know the story of it, but I've never seen the movie. No.
It's is it bad? No. Okay. Is it great? No. Should it have made $250 million? Yes. Mm-hmm. They fucked up. If the A-Team can make 180 million, John Carter could have made 200 million.
It didn't even make 200 million? That's crazy.
I don't even think it made 60.
Oh shit.
It fucked up bad, like real bad. And the way they marketed it, like that's a movie that you should really look into, like how and why, and because it's like what they're doing with Batman, how they would listen, you know, all the rumors and stuff, they make these tweaks. People hated John Carter, everything about John Carter from the start, and they just weren't fixing it. They were just full court pressing with all of it.
Interesting.
And they got bit in the ass so hard.
Was it like kind of in the same vein as the Johnny Depp movie where he's an Indian, Lone Ranger?
Yes, very similar. Same company too, Disney.
Oh shit, it is. That's right. Yeah. And the same thing with Frozen. That first trailer was fucking terrible.
Yeah. See, at least there they fixed it.
That's true. Yeah, they learned. After 2 movies, they finally learned their lesson.
Domestic gross, John Carter, 73 million. Production budget, quarter billion. They made their money back. They made 211 foreign.
Okay, so that's good. Wow.
Like that says something to me. If you're making, well, all right. So what that says to me is the dialogue isn't necessary. If you can make 200 million across the world, they're not really paying attention to the words.
Like you mean like the dialogue between characters, or the dialogue like outside the movie?
Between characters, the dialogue in the film.
Okay.
Because it was successful for all intents and purposes outside of the country.
Okay.
So,
I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay.
So they fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
If it made 200 million, it's not like it was a bad movie and everybody else stopped seeing it. The rest of the world thought it was all right enough, and that's a movie that I think the marketing truly had a lot to do with the downfall of that movie.
Well, in marketing these days, it's like just so much money is spent on it. Yeah,
a ton.
They really need to rein it in. Like they could be making so much more money off these movies if they weren't marketing them so much. Like, I mean, I guess you have to. Like, it's easy for me to say that. It's not my $200 million movie that I'm trying to market. It's there. They have to do it to feel comfortable.
Well, plus another thing is that like what you were talking about before, they almost want to have some sort of paper trail. If they could somehow make it look like they spent a lot of money, and maybe sometimes it's not true, if you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Like they make the movie look like more of a thing than it actually was.
Sometimes, or as far as paperwork's concerned, say they said, "Look, we spent $500 million on everything, on marketing and everything," but truth of the matter is, some of the marketing from, just for argument's sake, from a Fox film to a Fox television station, you're not technically spending money to advertise on your channel.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
But you have a receipt for it. But you didn't have to. That's not money.
Yeah. Okay.
You're moving $50 from one pocket and putting it in your other pocket and saying you lost it. You didn't lose it. You just moved it. So stuff like that.
Okay. No. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Where it's kind of like under the table just to make it look like more.
Right. Right. They do that a lot, or so I've heard.
Well, I mean, and I've heard the opposite of that too. Or I mean, not really the opposite, but like there's sites like Box Office Mojo, which I've used for years.
Right.
Which is, I mean, it's so user friendly, and it has like all the previous movies and everything. But it never has the marketing.
Yeah. Yeah. Just production budget. That's it.
Yeah, marketing budgets can be hard to find sometimes when you want to find it.
Yeah.
I found this other site. A buddy of mine turned me on to it. It's like Box Office Pro. Like if Google that, I think it pops up, and I mean it's kind of an awkward site. Like it doesn't work on mobile. Like it's like you have to be on your computer to use it, and it's really it's just awkward. But it does have the marketing budgets on it, and something like
awesome.
Which is like I was ranting about J.J. Abrams on Facebook recently, and that's what got my buddy to turn me on to this. And
that's funny.
Like it's just the amount of money that they spend. Like I think it was like $60 to $70 million to push Star Trek Into Darkness. So it pushed its budget from 190 million up to 250 million, somewhere around there. And that's just, and then the movie only, what was it? I can't remember the figures now. This is why you shouldn't rant on Facebook at 3 a.m.
Well, it's like Coke. Coke is the number one soda in the world. The number one, like, anything that involves your mouth in the world, yet they spend the most in marketing.
Yes.
It's like, what? We know who you are. What are you doing?
They don't want to be forgotten.
Yeah, I guess you don't have to. Not being forgotten is one thing, but impulse memory is another.
That's true.
What do I know? I'm not Coke, so.
Well, but I mean, you make a good point. I mean, people know what Coke is. You
right.
could rein it in a bit. Like,
yeah.
It's not even like they're doing the Coke versus Pepsi stuff anymore, like they were doing back at the turn of the century. Like,
yeah,
that's all over and done with. Like,
yeah, right,
I mean,
right. You win.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Pepsi's still a thing, but
yeah.
Coke won. Like,
yeah, we know. We know. You have soda. We know.
And it's like, just like restaurants around the world are always going to be, buying Coke. So like you have like your steady, like no matter what's going to happen, you have this. Dropping my pen. This that is always going to be pouring money towards you.
Right.
And that's never going to go away. And technically that could expand as more restaurants get opened in new places and stuff like that. So I guess it's the same thing. Like, do you really? Oh, that's what it was. Okay. So Star Trek Into Darkness was 190 million. The budget went up to 250, but the movie only grossed 460. So if they had cut back on the marketing budget, they could have broken even. But because not broken, broken even.
Uh-huh.
But because they didn't, the movie ended up grossing less than it cost to make it. But only because they pushed it so hard. And it's a sequel to a big movie with a huge actor like Benedict Cumberbatch in it. Right. People are going to go see this movie.
Right.
And J.J. Abrams had been announced as the guy doing Star Wars, so people are going to go see the movie just because they want to see him do something like that. You don't need to spend that much money to push it.
Right. Yeah. Like just give me the date. Like, save the commercials. Just tell me when. Like, it's true. There's a built-in fan base there. Like, I think Star Trek is like the most. They have the most conventions for. Or it's something like it has the longest running fan base or something.
Well,
Star Trek is like its own entity.
Well, it's even older than Star Wars. It's older than Star Wars.
Yeah. It was a TV show in the 60s, I think.
Man, I love it. It's so corny, but I love that show.
Yeah, like it's like I said, just tell us when. Like, save your money. It just here's my address. Send me a flyer letting me know when. And
plus, you have like the teaser trailer, and then you have trailer 1, trailer 2, trailer 3 these days.
Oh, you want to talk about trailers? What is that? What you're getting at?
Well, I mean, it's just a lot of shit. Like, do you really need the teaser to get you ready for the trailer? Like, how much money do you spend on that trailer and then pushing the teaser trailer to then just a couple days later release the big trailer?
Yeah, and then a teaser for the teaser. It's just
It's one thing when like Star Wars did the thing back in November, like the mini trailer. Like we hadn't seen anything and everybody wanted to see something. So,
right.
And then you didn't release the other trailer for 6 months. So, you know, that was one thing. But like I think Batman vs Superman released like a little teaser, and then the actual trailer got spoiled online, and so then they released the actual trailer.
What's your all right? So all right, let me talk about that first, and then we can go back to, because there's quite a bit I want to talk about with trailers in general. I guess I might work backwards. What do you think that maybe we have too much as far as trailers, or not? All right, that's part A to the question. Do you think we have too much?
Like they're showing too much, you mean?
Like we're getting too much. I get it. We're the age of information, and you know, everybody needs things now. But part two, which I would like you to answer first, do you think that at least bigger movies, that they're kind of doing some of these things to get an idea of what to do? Like that Joker picture that they released of Jared Leto. Yeah. I feel like that was like a test. And if enough hatred is garnered for it, they will switch it.
Yeah, I've had that same sense. And if you look at the picture of Suicide Squad that actually just got released earlier today.
Yeah.
Joker's not in it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I feel like we're and not widespread, but for some of the bigger things, they're kind of taking the people they pay a ton of money to figure these things out. They're taking it out of their hands, and they're making some of these big super budgeted movies. They're essentially making them into American Idol, where they're showing us and asking, what do you want? Okay. I don't trust America. Do what you're going to do. Because everybody hated Heath Ledger's first picture. And it was genius. So what is a picture? How can we decide anything off of a picture?
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And I almost did a video about that picture when it got released, but then the last minute I'm like, no, this isn't enough. But yeah, like let's to get to Jurassic World, to segue slightly to kind of stay on the subject.
Go ahead.
The first Jurassic World trailer left us with a lot of questions. But then the second trailer kind of answered a lot of those questions.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. Like, was that just their original plan, or did they, like you said, did they somehow scan Twitter and things like that and see the questions that people were asking, or like pay attention to YouTube things and then see that, hey, okay, so these are what people want to know. Let's release that footage in the trailer. And that's kind of interesting because, well, I hated that clip from Jurassic World that they released. I am liking the trailers that have come out so far. Like, every time I watch one of those trailers, they keep wanting me to watch the movie even more.
I'm really fired up for that movie.
Yeah, dude. Like, that gets me in like a little childhood place.
Yeah. There's a lot of. It almost seems like if there's enough complaining with. Again, I reiterate, if the film is big enough, if it's got a big enough budget, if there's enough complaining, it seems like they tweak.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And that's dangerous. That's very dangerous.
It can be. It definitely can be. Like last time we talked about the Wachowski space movie. Why can't I think of things?
Jupiter Ascending.
Yes. And that the movie that they canceled its original release and pushed it back 6 months for I don't know if they actually did reshoots or not.
Yeah.
But I've heard rumors that they did reshoots, and I've also heard that they recently reshot a bunch of stuff for Fantastic Four.
That looks, that you want to talk about something that looks bad.
Yeah.
I don't have much faith in that movie at all. And
It'll be better than the other ones.
What's that?
I think it'll be better than the other ones.
That's not saying much.
Exactly. Yeah. What is?
Yeah, it's like, would you rather die of AIDS or cancer? It's just like, what? What? They're both bad.
Yeah, can I not die?
Yeah, how about I just live?
Yeah.
It just looks like a different version of bad. The other ones were cheesy and poppy and big and colorful, and now it looks grim and dark and bad.
I mean, they do need to make them different, but you don't need to go from over the top silly to dour.
Yeah, yeah.
Which actually, to get back to the subject, the first teaser for that movie was terrible. Like, it looked
Fantastic Four?
Fantastic Four. That came out back in January. But then the one that came out, I felt was better because it did kind of have like some of the banter and interactions between the characters.
Right.
Like, I liked Reed Richard not knowing how to do a fist bump, that kind of.
Yeah.
So maybe again they scanned Twitter or whatever and saw people's reactions and said like, okay, so we need to show some of the life in them a little bit. So maybe they are paying attention.
At least 51% of me believes that if a movie's big enough that somebody's, especially if they like releasing a picture, why would you do that? Yeah. What is that for? We have nothing to do with, like, there's nothing to chew on. It's who doesn't know what Joker looks like? Like, what? And especially to show him that different like that with the tattoos and the teeth and
is that a grill or is he just have bad teeth?
I don't know, but why don't the ones in the back match is my question.
That's true. Yeah.
It just seemed like they were doing it to get a rise, and I don't know.
The Streisand effect. No press is bad press.
But, really? Yeah.
I mean, you don't really want to bank on that. At least I don't think you do.
Yeah.
That's like the last resort. That's not your first. That's not what you shoot for. You fall back on that when you have.
Right. But then they released the picture today.
Yeah, and he's not in it.
Right. Exactly. It's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah. For the record, actually, Deadshot, because at least the Will Smith thing, he did look like a good. I mean, based off of my experience with the character in Arrow, I like the way he looks. Yeah. But that's such a narrow. I've seen 5 episodes of one show that I wasn't particularly crazy about with this character, so right. As an expert on this guy.
Right, and I feel like I guess to play devil's advocate a bit. Mm-hmm. I feel like too many people are making too many decisions based on only the trailer. Like people, it's like you said with Jurassic World, people were fired up because of the teaser, and now a bunch of people are shunning it because of what they've seen. And it's like, do people realize that the director has nothing to do with teasers and trailers and things like that?
Well, I feel like there are some directors that do. Like, Abrams has this real style of keeping things hidden, right? Reflective in his trailers. But usually, you're right. Yeah,
90% of trailers are the company, are like Fox, Warner.
Or a third party that they hire.
Right. It's not the director. It's completely devoid of the film itself. I don't know. I just feel like there's too much information could be bad, I guess, is the gist of what I'm trying to get to, because what is there to salivate over if you've made your mind on a film, if you've gone from wanting to see a film to not wanting to see a film based solely on like commercials and teasers or trailers or whatever, what happened?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of an example of a trailer that it's like I wanted to see this movie, and then the trailer came out, and I didn't want to see the movie anymore.
I feel like it's happening, like especially the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Terminator Genisys. People.
Fuck that trailer. Fuck that.
Oh, yeah. There's a couple of things that I want to complain about.
By all means, let's have it.
But the first thing, how does she recognize her son? Her grown adult son. How did she recognize him?
Right.
That people are complaining that he's a robot, but what if it's just a robot that looks like him? We know that the robot can make it look like anything else.
T-1000, yeah.
So people got ape shit about it. What if it's just the T-1000 modeling itself after her son? Like, what's the problem?
Well, my problem in general is just the fact that they showed that. Like,
No. I agree 1,000,000%. That's a third act thing that definitely should not have happened. And that's another thing. They're showing way too much stuff now.
Yeah.
But on the flip of the coin, like what basis does Joe movie viewer have to think that he knows exactly what's happening there?
Well, I see what you mean. Like there could be another layer that's not being shown.
Right. And you know, everybody's kind of at fault here because we're being shown too much. People are running to conclusions with this stuff, and I don't know. People are quitting on Jurassic World. People are quitting slowly but surely with each trailer that gets released for Terminator. It seems like they want to do one thing and they're getting the exact opposite response with every little piece of information they release.
Right. Which I will admit I'm totally guilty of. Like with Jurassic World, I said briefly that clip that they showed of Dallas Howard and Chris Pratt. I will admit that my initial reactions to that were very, fuck it, I don't want to see this movie anymore, which got reinforced when Joss Whedon did this whole thing on Twitter calling this relationship sexist, which I totally jumped on board for a second. But then I did kind of step back and it's like, this is a clip out of context.
Right. Okay, so you're talking about the one where he's talking about that, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's a part you're talking about?
Yeah, like their bad date clip.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say the year is 1993.
Okay.
And all you're being shown is the water drip hand scene with Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern.
Yeah, that would look weird.
What are your thoughts then? Try to forget everything else about Jurassic Park. And
you're just watching these two kind of have a weird flirt.
Yeah. What are you thinking then?
That would I would wonder. Well, I mean, I guess I could kind of see how it would tie into the movie because, like, they're talking about chaos, and it's a movie about a park going into chaos.
Yeah.
But that's.
But Jeff Goldblum's being a little shady, sexy when he's doing that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely a creep vibe. That's. I get you. Listen. Mm-hmm. The dialogue is better. I'm not trying to say that.
Yeah.
But the context of the scenes are similar. It's a man and a woman, you know, in a similar sexual angsty type situation that really, for all intents and purposes, isn't what the movie is. And, you know, why give us that clip?
Yeah, no, I get you there. And you don't want to give away, you don't want to show a dinosaur scene.
Right.
That's the money shots. That's
right.
Yeah. And actually, I realized recently, or not, I didn't realize, I saw Movie Fights. They did a thing about the Jurassic World, and they actually brought up that the original trailer for Jurassic Park didn't even show dinosaurs.
Yeah, I saw the same exact thing. Okay.
That's cool.
So, yeah, absolutely. In defense of Jurassic World, you know it's a sequel to Jurassic Park.
And they need to show the park functioning.
Right. What we already know there's dinosaurs.
Yeah. And how do you show the park functioning without showing dinosaurs?
Right. It's they were being hard. They were being really hard on the movie. Especially if you go by the adage that a sequel should be bigger and more of what you liked about the original, then you just can't. You can't make a trailer without making your dinosaur movie not about dinosaurs.
And they are being with the Indominus Rex or whatever.
Yeah, I don't have any problems with that.
Yeah, I like that. No, me neither. But I think they're being clever with that, and that they're not showing much of it.
Yeah,
It's kind of harking back. But then it's also like it's really lame when we see it.
That's fine. I mean, Jurassic Park. Here we go again with the flawed. Jurassic Park's not perfect.
Oh yeah, no, it's got issues. Yeah.
I mean, I'll never forget the T-Rex scene where suddenly they're on a cliff. The T-Rex jumped over the wires, but suddenly there's a at least 100-foot cliff that he magically jumped up
or something.
Yeah, that was such a bizarre, and for Steven Spielberg to make that mistake, it's just so weird.
Like if it was a small cliff, it'd be one thing.
Yeah. That, and like I think there's a shot where you see like the T-Rex kind of like standing. It just doesn't. Yeah, like when he throws the lamb over the.
And its hand is like.
Yeah, it's just like hanging, and it's just well, what was he standing on when he made that throw? What?
And I guess there's also like the arms are so tiny. How does he?
Just.
How do you not see the rest of it? Well,
yeah, right. I don't. I just feel like there's too much happening on both sides. Mm-hmm. Like people are jumping to conclusions, and yeah, I do it too. But yeah, for that, I feel like I want to blame the companies. Like stop! It's summer. It's summer. Mm-hmm. We're getting too many like tidbits. It used to be just a trailer.
Right.
It used to be either a teaser and a trailer or just a trailer.
Right, there'd be the teaser, and then you get the trailer eventually. They're not
right. Now it's like teaser 1, teaser 2, trailer 1, trailer 2, trailer 3, TV spot 1.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what?
You know what's interesting too? I was talking to my girlfriend about this. Yeah, you know, those trailer videos usually aren't monetized on YouTube. Sometimes they are. Like sometimes you see an ad before you see the trailer you went to, but not all the time.
Uh-huh.
But if they all had ads on them, like movie studios could be actually making a decent amount of money off of those things on YouTube.
Right.
Like, I mean, not like enough to pay for the movie, but they could like, you know, bank in a couple extra $1 million just off of that. Like it's like the teaser gets 50 million views. And then the second teaser gets 50 million views. And then the trailer gets 50 million views. Trailer 2 gets 50 million views. That adds up after a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've used trailer footage in some of my reviews and been flagged.
Yeah.
So Fox has made some money off of me.
Yeah. So, actually, one of mine just got flagged. Like one I did last summer got flagged again today.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That is interesting.
I don't know if I have an ultimate point. It's just like...
Yeah, no, it's really odd that... I wonder how that falls into their budget.
Right? Like how much does it cost them to cut a trailer, too? How much does it cost them to cut the teaser, then cut teaser 2, then cut trailer 2, and trailer 3, and all that?
And then who made a teaser to a teaser? Somebody... Yeah. I want to say, was it Ant-Man? Where they did a 2-second thing for They did a teaser for a teaser.
It was either Batman or Batman versus Superman. It was one of them.
They did like a 2-second thing tomorrow. What are you giving me a commercial for tomorrow for? You just wasted so much money. Yeah. Unless it's, you know what, unless they're doing what you just said. Unless they're making that little teaser to a commercial or teaser to a teaser, and they're throwing it up on YouTube and they're getting a bunch of views, and next thing you know, they're making money.
Well, again, it's very minimal. I think it's like like the Star Wars trailer. It's made like I think almost $1 million so far.
Wow.
But because I mean, like you divide it by every 1,000 views and you times it by
no, it's not it's not losing $1 million. That's
right.
Huh. So what do you feel about trailers information? Do you like it? Do you want more, less? Like what if you wanted to see what's your big movie you want to see this summer?
I mean, like of the ones that aren't out yet, I mean, I guess of the ones that are coming out this summer, I really want to see Mad Max.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm getting more and more excited by that one by the day. And surprisingly, Ant-Man, which I really didn't think I would be into.
Really?
Like, I'm a total dork. I watched all the Marvel cartoons on Netflix over the last 6 months or so. And I hated Ant-Man on Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Okay.
Him was just like this little pacifist guy who's always like, no, we need to rehabilitate them. We can't hurt them more than we need to. And I'm just like, dude, just get over it. But it's not Hank Pym in the movie. So I'm like, oh, I might. It's some guy named Scott. I don't even know. Paul Rudd's playing some guy named Scott. I think Martin Sheen, that's who it is.
Right.
I think he's playing Hank Pym. So I'm getting into it.
Yeah. All right. So where's the line for you then? Like how much if they made 10 trailers, you'd be all right with it?
No, not for it. I mean, I think what they've done so far for Ant-Man is good. Like, I don't think they should make another trailer. Like, I think they've shown like just enough to like get us interested. Like because they've already started showing some of what is already going to be like the big battle at the end.
Right, that train is that. Yeah,
which is as hilarious as that is, and that's much as it makes me want to see the movie. I don't want to see more of that fight.
Right.
I'm good. Like you've hooked me. You don't need to show me anything else.
Yeah. See, I'm trying like. If they made 15 trailers for Star Wars, I think I'd be all right with it. And that's like
interesting. Okay.
I'm like fighting my own. See, I try so hard to think about every side of an argument,
which is respectful.
Yeah, it's. I guess that's just being a child in me. But like, I guess once I would see the movie, I'll tell you what. Like Avengers. When Scarlet Witch has that little breakdown, I knew that the scene where she opens the door and she swings the guy to the right, I knew that was the next thing because he said you could either walk out that door. And in the back of my head, I had, all right, well, you remember in the trailer, she opens this door and she's all determined. And the fact that he said walk out that door gave me this mental memory thing where I was like, wait a minute, I haven't seen that scene yet from the trailer. And it kind of ruined that for me. Yeah,
I do that all the time too. I'm right there with you. What was it? Actually, the same scene. Because like Hawkeye in the trailer, he does this like 3-arrow thing and then he kicks out a door and he goes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's going to come right after this scene here.
Right. So, I don't know. I feel like as much as I enjoy it when it's happening, like the trailers, like, me not seeing anything, I'll take whatever I can get. But it affects me watching the movie. And I guess in the end, it's bad.
Yeah. I think the worst example of recent times that I'm aware of is Amazing Spider-Man 2. Shows the last shot of the movie in the trailer. And it's that really cool shot of him like swinging the thing around as he's going to go and fight Rhino. And so you're like,
really?
Yeah. They showed that shot in the trailer.
Oh.
So I spent the entire movie being like, so when's this rhino fight gonna happen?
Right, yeah.
It's like, oh, come on, guys.
See,
never show the last shot of the trailer. If anyone in Hollywood is watching this, never show the last shot of the movie in your trailer.
And that, don't give things away. Like what? Like I'm intrigued to know, like what's going on in Jurassic World, what's going on in Terminator. Even though I agree that Terminator looks worse with every single shot that they release.
Right.
But in the film's defenses, like we don't know what context any of that stuff is in.
That's true. Like it is that talking about John Carter again. John Connor robot, actually the John Connor that's sent back Jai Courtney's Kyle Reese.
Right.
Or is he from like a whole other timeline? Or we could get multiple timelines. That would be kind of cool. Like 3 or 4 different timelines in the Terminator universe.
Yeah.
That might be fun.
Yeah, see, like there's a bunch of different ways they can go about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they even showed a shot of what appears to be Arnold Schwarzenegger as Terminator with a little girl near water or something like that. She's got a bathing suit on. And I'm led to believe that that's young Sarah Connor.
Right.
And he's going really far back to save her. And if that's the case, why just show us that?
That would be interesting if they started doing this thing where it's like Skynet's just sending back all these Terminators to all these different points in their lives.
Right.
Distance has to just send back all these robots to always be trying to counter.
A new one a day. Just go further back.
Okay, that would be okay. So this movie ends with like the Back to the Future, the paradox, and the entire universe just collapses in on itself. That would be awesome.
Yeah, see,
I kind of want that to happen now.
I have so much fun with those movies, like Back to the Future. Just when me and people I know get into arguments about the Terminator timeline and just how impossible it is for someone to send a robot back to make sure that they're born, that it works. There's no other way. Because if it fails, just everything falls upon itself.
Right. That's why time travel is such a.
It's so fun. See stuff like that. Like I guess because I enjoy it, like I'll forgive some of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's why J.J. Abrams. Like I have a lot of faith in him with anything. In Lost, they had a couple of timelines.
Yes.
Season 5, when they went back and forth in the 70s, and they even had some fan service where they would talk about Back to the Future, and Jorge's there, and he's like, my hand should be disappearing right now. That's I don't know why, but I really dig that type of science. Like I don't even know what the hell you call it. Time travel.
Quantum physics or some crap, but Looper. Did you see that?
What's that?
You see Looper?
Yes. Yeah. See, that's another one. That's really exciting. Like that. Like that's fun for me.
Yeah. Even if it kind of falls apart, just like that scene where his body is just disappearing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. See, I forgive stuff like that. If it makes my brain smile, then I'm all right with it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, yeah, definitely, of course, yeah.
But go ahead.
I know, just like that, where he I don't know, just that final shot where he shoots himself, and then Bruce Willis is like, "Oh crap!"
Right. Yeah. See, Terminator needs to end that way. If anybody had the balls, that's how they should end Terminator. Have John Connor just blow his own head off. That would be great.
Nothing ever happens.
Then nothing. Because technically John Connor is the reason that Skynet starts.
Yeah, no, it's been the movies have retconned that into basically making it not even a retcon, they've rewritten their own history as they're writing it.
Right. It's just kill yourself. Never mind sending somebody back. But yeah, we've fallen far off the track.
Oh, so far, but it's fun. Who cares?
Yeah.
Well, you talked about Star Wars. What do you think about the Star Wars trailers?
Oh my God. I'd like to see more.
You want to see more?
Yeah, because there's just so much to speculate over.
Mm-hmm.
And is that thing that they just released, is that technically a trailer or is that a teaser?
Oh, fine. The line is so blurred at this point. Like,
yeah, like what merits a teaser and what merits a, like, what is it, runtime? Like what?
That's good. Yeah, maybe. But it was like a 2-minute trailer, so like that's a long teaser. That's a teaser. Like, the trailer's not going to be longer than 3 minutes. Like,
yeah. I'm really, really excited,
mm-hmm.
But cautious, because I liked Phantom Menace when it came out.
Yeah, I was the same. I was like, oh yay!
Yeah, Darth Maul. I felt like they totally screwed up with Darth Maul.
Oh, they should not have killed him.
Yeah, because he was such a. Regardless of whether or not he spoke a lot, I really dug him as a bad guy.
He's just like, well, Ray Park just brought so much presence to it. Than talk. Like, you still loved this guy and wanted to see him slaughter the shit out of some stuff.
Yeah. So, the more I watched it, the less I cared about the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Like the lightsaber fight is still pretty badass.
Yeah, the last one's really good. Like the rest of the movie is, but the last one's really
good. Attack of the Clones is like, I didn't really like it back then, and it's just basically a chore for me to get through now.
It's so hard.
And Revenge of the Sith, the closer we got to the end, the more I liked it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith has its moments. Like if I have to watch a prequel movie, that's the one I'll watch. I mean, my choice is to not watch it ultimately, but if I have to choose one, it's that one.
Yeah, and that's the what Darth Maul as an idea is very good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that very much. But if we're talking about scenes in the movie, Revenge of the Sith, there's a couple of parts that I certainly like more than certain parts that I don't like of the original trilogy. So if you had to ask me, based on your favorite part, would you rather watch the shitty parts of Jedi or the good parts of Revenge of the Sith? I would actually watch Revenge of the Sith.
Also, take the Ewoks over.
Right. If you'd rather have the last half an hour of Revenge of the Sith or Ewoks, what would you want? I would actually take Revenge of the Sith.
Well, if we're doing the last half hour, I really like that last fight between Luke and Vader. So I'm Ewok, even
Jedi
Ewoks just for that.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But if we're doing like snapshots of the movie versus this snapshot of this other movie,
I forget that Luke and Vader's there. Right, so just Ewoks, you're getting a mismatch there. You're getting just Ewoks versus an equal amount of time of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, I might go Revenge of the Sith. It would depend on the part.
All right, you can disagree. I know I'm a little odd.
No, because like I said, there are good parts. Like as silly and as it is that Grievous knows how to quadruple wield lightsabers.
I'm not counting that. That's that's not in the last half an hour, or is it?
Oh no, it's definitely. Oh no, yeah. You did specify the last half hour. Okay, so I'll take that back.
Yeah.
There are moments in that fight that are so cool, like when they're in the tiny hallway and their sabers are like going through the walls at each other as they're like.
Yeah.
Talking about that visual, I've always really liked.
And just when Vader like actually dies, like, or not dies, but burns, at like some emotion. Holy shit.
Yeah.
The one thing, if I had to give one thing credit, is Ewan McGregor really, really busted his ass.
Yeah. Well, he had
to. He was all right. For as much as the prequels were garbage, Ewan McGregor seemed to will that series.
Yeah, he had a lot of respect for the character. That really.
Yeah, and that scene where he's just totally bitching out Anakin. There was some feeling there, just a mix of everything. The score.
Yeah, like, cheesy as fuck, but he sells.
Yeah. He almost. I don't know if he does, but he almost cries. It was a neat scene. I liked it.
Especially, I mean, that's the scene that we've been waiting for 3
months. Right, exactly.
This is when these characters really, like, it's over for them. Like the good friendship that they talked about in A New Hope was over right then and there.
Yeah, and I really kind of dug the parallels when Padme's giving birth and they're putting Darth Vader together. As terrible as it is, I know. I enjoyed it, and I'm not talking about her dying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was like her heart's broken. So
she's lost the will to live. What?
That's what it was.
She's what? No, she hasn't.
That's not exactly how it works, guys.
Yeah. But the shots were there. There was stuff that was there. But like I said, I'm comparing that against the worst parts of Jedi.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not saying that I would rather watch one or the other as a whole. Mm-hmm. I would rather watch some of my favorite parts of Sith over some of the worst parts of Jedi.
Okay, that's respectful. Actually, you just made me think of something to really rewind back to Ultron.
Okay.
The moment when Quicksilver dies and Scarlet Witch has her, and that is so much a cooler, like, oh my god, someone I just cared about.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's like part of the plot, she's blasting the fuck out of.
Yeah.
That's how you do a death. No.
Oh yeah, you know what? You reminded me of Darth Vader screaming. What I meant, let me clarify so that you're not thinking I'm some maniac.
Yeah.
These shots are equal.
Right. Yeah.
When they show Padme on the bed, she's giving birth, and then they show them assembling Darth Vader.
Like robots are putting him together.
They're like putting his legs on and stuff like that. I don't mean parallels of dying, and I meant some of the editing was done pretty.
Okay, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Specify. I am not an advocate of Darth Vader. No.
Oh, and then what is it? They added into the.
Oh, they added that into Jedi on the Blu-rays.
Oh.
Yeah, putting young Anakin, in Jedi too. That doesn't make any sense to me.
And why did we have to wait for Disney to buy Star Wars before we could get the original cuts of the movie on DVD?
Yeah, George Lucas, man, he. I don't know. He had something that he was being spiteful about.
I think he just. I mean, this could be completely wrong, but I think something about the original trilogy, like not the original, the new trilogy, the prequels, even though they're terrible, I think he really wanted them to be good. Like maybe he thought he really did make something really something. So
There's two things that I always, regardless of whether or not I agreed with, I always managed to swallow from George Lucas. Number one being that whenever people asked him about, the stuff that he threw into the other movies, he would always say
90s things or whatever.
Yeah, he always said, well, that's the way I wanted it. I just didn't have the tools back then. So, like, in his defense, I guess I kind of get it, because his argument is, well, now that I can do it, I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is on I want to say a DVD commentary.
Okay.
On one of I think it's Sith.
Okay.
George Lucas What's that?
Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah, yeah. George Lucas said that he was happy. They asked him if he was going to do 7, 8, 9, and he said no, because 1 through 6 is the tragedy of Anakin Skywalker. It's the beginning, middle, and end of Anakin Skywalker. It's Darth Vader's set of movies. And that, like, I always kind of, you know, as much as I may have felt other things, you know, that works for me. If that's what he's intending from those 6 movies, then yes, I guess it does make no sense to make a 7th movie. If you're telling me those 6 movies are the Anakin Skywalker tale, then okay.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
I'm not saying I agree with it.
Yeah.
I tolerate it. I can understand.
Yeah, I mean, because I too don't really necessarily agree with it, but that is an interesting interpretation of them.
Right. I also want to reiterate that I'm excited as fuck for episode 7.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, actually, I want to say
clear.
I'm on board. This new trailer got me.
Oh yeah.
The teaser had me nervous because why is
Really?
the Empire still around 30 years after the fact?
I'm sorry. What? Why is what around?
Oh, well, the Empire. Why are they still so prevalent? And I am still worried about that. But that shot of Han and Chewie, and you know, actually the shot that really got me was the Millennium Falcon flying through the destroyed Star Destroyer, because that just harkened me back to Return of the Jedi, flying through to get to the core, and it was just so cool seeing the Millennium Falcon fly through another ship again.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I'm shocked that you said that you weren't on for the teaser.
I mean, the teaser was interesting. Well, I mean, the very first teaser, the one
right.
that I can remember. But it just, I really question why the Empire is still such a big thing in the galaxy. Like, they were destroyed 30 years ago.
Well, apparently, from what I've, again, an interpretation, which may be a bad thing.
Let me have
it. The flag behind that scene where they show like the army that's lining up, and there's this big like Nazi-looking flag.
Yeah, it's a little different than the usual.
Yeah, so maybe they're trying to reinvigorate the Empire and have some sort of alteration. I don't know.
Like the Empire 2.0.
Yeah, maybe the Empire died and there is some sort of second movement.
Maybe I could see that. Yeah, okay, yeah, that could work. Although, who would put stormtrooper armor on anymore is my other question. Like, after all that stuff, yeah.
There's I forget what it is. Somebody made a comment. I don't remember. There's like literally way too many, and I've watched a lot.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of YouTube videos where they go over just how many differences there are between the new stormtroopers and now that there's actually like different levels, like lieutenants and such.
Yeah, it's like that chrome trooper or whatever.
Right. So maybe the thing is they're taking a different approach to stormtroopers, and it's more of a Army, Marines, Navy type thing. Okay,
that could be. Yeah, I see what you mean. And I do like how the helmets, like the eyes, kind of come down and form into the mouth.
Yeah, a little modern, a little new looking.
It's almost like comes out kind of tear-like to me. So something that's kind of interesting.
Yeah. See, I have so much respect for. See, when I watch something, the first thing I do is I just take this story. I'm not reading any sort of anything. I'm not looking into the color palette. I'm not looking into any sort of symmetry, parallels, anything. I'm just taking the story.
Okay.
I watch if a movie strikes me, even if I don't like a movie, I will watch it a second time, because that's when I start going after, things and signs and things like that.
Okay.
And I always had so much respect for people that could take the story in and still, find all that, like what you were just talking about with the tear. Like my brain just doesn't work like that. I just wish I could.
Well, it's hard, dude. Like I had to see It Follows twice, like in a week.
Yeah, It Follows. That's another one. I'll probably change my mind about that.
Actually, yeah, the second time I saw that, I actually caught a Q&A with the director, and that was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Actually, so I managed to finagle my way into getting out of work early so I could rush out to Hollywood in order to catch the screening.
Uh-huh.
And then they actually did call on me to ask a question. And I was so excited, I completely forgot what my question was. Like, I didn't realize they were pointing it to me at first. Then when I realized I did, it was like, wait, crap, what was it? And then
Do you remember it now?
No, I still don't. I ended up asking him, like, because like me and my friends have been debating like what the movie was about, and so I asked him like what the central theme, or like what was like the main, like what was the main point that he was like writing from for him, like, and he gave me like the best answer ever. That whatever, as long as it's a positive interpretation, he's okay with your interpretation. Like it's meant to be taken a bunch of different ways.
I hate when directors say things like that.
Oh, really? Okay, that's interesting. Like, I mean, like he obviously, like he said that he did have his own.
Did he tell you?
No. He just said he wanted to keep it so that people could have their own thing.
I can't stand that.
Oh, interesting.
Because if I'm telling you a story, I'm coming from somewhere.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Regardless of how you're perceiving it, I have some sort of intention.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a cop out. If I was shooting a flower and I wanted you to perceive sex, and just a shot of a flower, and a bee somehow gets in there, I'm just spitballing here, and then you think what I'm trying to say is that global warming's bad, and then I say, you know what, that's good for you. You take that with you. That's not fair.
Interesting.
Does the director think that? Well, my thing was I kind of wanted to be a subtle thing on sex. Does the director think that the person who perceived it as global warming will stop liking the film? Just because it's a different interpretation, why can't your original intention come out?
I see what you mean. Like, just because you, the director, are saying what you went for doesn't necessarily mean that all the other ones are wrong. Right.
It doesn't take anything away from my interpretation. I just want to know what your intention was, because you had an intention. You were shooting. You had to, even if it was something as simple as, I just want to make a horror movie that people chase people. So be it. But you started with something. I just feel like it's a cop out.
No, I definitely do get what you mean. And because in the moment it did kind of like I did kind of go like, oh,
not fair.
like I said, me and a couple friends have been debating it, and kind of had a couple theories. So it would have been nice to have that, like, and here it is. Yeah. But at the same time, I do like that he wants people to think about it. I do like that as a filmmaker, he approached it from the point of view of he wanted people to be encouraged. I just realized you're wearing a Lego movie shirt. That's awesome.
Oh, this is actually a Schmobile shirt.
Oh, that's still pretty cool too. Everything is awesome. I just like when a filmmaker wants his audience to think, I guess.
Yeah, that's something similar happened with the director of Donnie Darko.
Oh yeah, the director's cut for that movie completely.
And then he's made a bunch of interesting movies since then, and he's trying to pull the same thing, and Southland Tales really.
I never saw it. I want to, though.
You want to talk? Southland Tales makes Jupiter Ascending look like Transformers.
Okay.
That makes sense. Southland Tales has so much going on, and it seems to be trying way too hard to be so much more than it is, that it makes a movie like Jupiter Ascending look like this simple blockbuster.
Well, that's pretty cool. Because Jupiter Ascending's got a lot of shit going on in it.
What's that?
Jupiter Ascending's got a lot of shit going on.
It does. But
no, go ahead. Yeah, I'm with
Southland Tales. See, I haven't seen it in such a long time, and so I'm going off of my two views.
Okay.
Which
also, you need to watch a lot.
What's that?
It's one you need to watch a lot. Then
I would assume so. They also did The Box, which is. Have you seen The Box?
So I own it. I've tried watching it 3 times, and every time I start watching it, I suddenly need to stop watching it and go do something.
That is incredible that you say that. Tell me how you feel about that movie.
I mean, the opening is like, I really want to finish it because it's like, it does get me. And I know it's based off an old Twilight Zone episode. That makes me want to watch it more.
Right.
But I'm almost scared to try watching it a 3rd time because I don't want the universe to make something else happen that I need to suddenly run off and go do something. Like, seriously, 3 times.
That's funny. The thing is, I really feel like It Follows and The Box are very similar.
Okay.
Like, very similar. Okay. And I feel like The Box is a bit more ambitious because it does. Towards the end, it starts going a little
batshit.
A little, not batshit. They just kind of stray a bit.
Okay.
Like, you've seen enough of it, I would assume, right? At least half an hour or so?
I think I've seen up to them hitting the button.
Okay.
And then the guy coming and collecting the box.
So you have the basic principle of it that, they hit a button, someone dies.
And they get $1 million.
Right.
And then the guy's like, I'm going to give it to someone you don't know and see if they do it.
Right. That alone is such a neat idea. I think I spoil the movie for you if I go further with this thought.
Okay, no worries. If we need to derail, it's okay.
Yeah, you know what? Try to see it again sometime soon, and we'll pause this because I'm intrigued to know what you think as far as the two It Follows and The Box are concerned.
Okay.
Because I feel like there's similarities there as far as, passing the It Follows demon on to anybody. Like, it's a careless or thoughtless process. You're just trying to get the thing away from you.
Okay, I see. Okay, maybe I think I can start seeing what you're saying. It's
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like a recklessness to it.
Yeah, a bit.
Like, you're not really fixing the problem. You're just giving
somebody else the problem.
Okay.
Whereas The Boxes, you could just say no. But the twist about The Box is somebody else gets to choose to hit the button, and you don't know. Like, it almost becomes a defense mechanism. Like, well, somebody might have me killed, so let me hit the button and fuck them over.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I'll give it another shot.
Yeah, don't do it just for my sake, but I'm just intrigued to know because, these are the boxes, at least. The boxes, certainly, it's got more going on to it than just that, and it gets a little deep and a little off the rail, but there's still that premise there that's really, really unique. And I feel like there are similarities to It Follows, and I'm intrigued to know if you share that feeling.
Okay. we'll see what I can do. I mean, it's like it's sitting right here. I can see it from here.
I can put it on right now.
I mean, I could. Watch and talk at the same time.
Okay, so now I'm watching the part where they're walking. Well, no, anyway. So that's the same director. Donnie Darko. I think I'm right. The guy who directed Donnie Darko directed The Box.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I wanted to watch it so much, because I wanted to see something else from that guy. Like, I saw Donnie Darko in theaters when I was like 11 or something like that. I'm like, fuck, this movie's crazy.
Yeah, and so that's another thing. I feel like he had ideas, and people. I don't think he meant it to be as big a deal as it is.
Donnie Darko, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
And perhaps, he just took it and just said, you know what? Whatever they're seeing, I'll take it. So sometimes maybe people make a film and something happens and they don't even realize that they're doing it.
They don't necessarily realize what it's going to end up being. They're just
right. So, why that doesn't make it a bad thing. Just let me know what your intention is. Okay. Like when you were making this, what was your goal? What did you want me to think? Here's what I think, but what did you want me to think? And anybody who says, "Oh, is that what you want me to think?" I'll think that. Well, then that's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you shouldn't. What the director intended and what your theory is. I guess, what am I trying to say? It's okay for your view of a movie to be different from the director's.
Right.
Yeah. Or the author, or whatever the art is. It's okay for people to interpret their own things.
Right. It's art. It's like I said, we said before, it's subjective. It's I think Geely is the greatest movie ever. Who's to say I'm not right? I don't think that. But what's right?
What's
that?
I tried watching that movie once and I couldn't.
No, it's rough. It's rough. It's a very rough movie. It'll be fun defending it.
Yeah, no, dude, I can't wait to see that. Honestly.
Yeah. There's 4 fights. There is worst ever, worst of the year, worst of Ben Affleck's career, and worst of J-Lo's career.
Oh, those are the 4 counts you guys are doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I'm not even trying to fight for J-Lo.
Okay.
Ben Affleck. The one thing I have is 2003. The Room came out that year as well.
Oh yeah. Dude.
So I know it's not the worst of 03, and that's what I might cling to. If I win 1, I'm happy.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
We'll get something. We'll get something. Viewer, that's not Bob. We're working on it.
We're on this, man.
All right, Lindsay. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, take it easy, man. Have a good night.
You too. Take care.
Peace.
Bye, guys. Guy.
Yeah.